The Raiders have traditionally had among the biggest, strongest offensive lines in the NFL, and the right tackle position has always been the epitome of it. They had Bob Brown in the 70s, Bruce Davis in the 80s, and Lincoln Kennedy in the 90s and early 2000s. Fast forward to the 2019 offseason, where GM Mike Mayock and head coach John Gruden want to get back to that. So they paid top dollar to sign Trent Brown, who at 6'8", 380 pounds is the biggest man in the NFL and one of the best linemen at the same time. And he was having a pretty good first year with the Raiders before finally succumbing to injury, and that prompted him for the first time in his career to get on a serious weight room program. So Raider fans could look forward to seeing a healthier, even stronger version of Brown in 2020, and that's pretty scary for the rest of the league. That was quite a bit of money the Raiders paid Brown to help center Rodney Hudson anchor the offensive line. And from the time he first showed up to training camp, he showed the Raiders that was money well spent. He served up pancakes in the running game. And in pass protection, you weren't going to run through him or around him. And of course, that carried over to the season, where he can be counted on at the point of attack in the running game. And anybody can get that work in the passing game. Let's start with the running game, where he blew open holes. He controlled the line of scrimmage in their win against the Denver Broncos. Then look what he does to Chris Jones in Week 2 against the Kansas City Chiefs. Oh! He was a regular source of yardage for running back Josh Jacobs. Brown would hurt himself in that game. It wasn't quite the same the next week against the Minnesota Vikings. But he made sure he was ready to play against Khalil Mack and the Chicago Bears. Mack got dealt with, and Josh Jacobs rushed for 123 yards and 2 touchdowns. Then against the Houston Texans, he had a battle with J.J. Watt. Watt gets the TFL here, and pancaked here even though it's not a successful play. Watch this block to spring Jacobs outside. When he went against Joey Bosa and the LA Chargers, Brown had no problem. He mashed on whoever the Cincinnati Bengals sent his way. And he showed some athleticism to get to the second level. Then in the second Chiefs game in Week 13, he was dominant again. But unfortunately, you have to be able to do more than just run the ball against the Chiefs, which is why the Raiders were swept. Equally as unfortunate for the Raiders, this would be Brown's last game because of injury, and the Raiders will lose 3 of their last 4. Now we look at pass pro, where Brown handled his business. He faced a lot of star pass rushers, starting with Von Miller, whom he had no problem with. It's unique to have a guy that big keep up with the likes of Von Miller. He handled him by himself. And every once in a while with a little help. In week 2, he saw Alex Okafor and had no problems at all. Ain't nothing going on Brown's watch. The pocket breaks down here, but Brown does his part. Carr has all day here, but has to check it down. I think he's going to have some guys open down the field more this year. Remember, Brown was hurt in this game, and the next week he wasn't the same. So he gave up the only sack he gave up last season to Danielle Hunter. But like I said before, he got himself ready for Mac. For the most part, he made Mac look like easy work. And when the Bears sent Leonard Floyd over there, it was the same thing. He only gave up 2 pressures on the day. Brown had some problems with Watt in the running game, but not in the passing game. He shut Watt out. Carr had a great day, throwing for 285 yards and 3 touchdowns, due in large part to Brown's performance. He didn't allow not one pressure, whether if it was Watt or anyone else the Texans sent his way. Next on the star pass rusher list was Joey Bosa, and Brown had no problems there. He also saw Melvin Ingram to the same outcome. Uchenna Nwosu can get that work too. While Brown has no problem with Bosa here, Colt Miller gives up a sack to Melvin Ingram. Whatever the Chargers were going to do rushing the passer, they had to do it on the other side because they weren't going to do it on Brown. Brown gave up just 1 pressure on the night. Then next were the Cincinnati Bengals and Carlos Dunlap. Neither he nor whoever the Bengals sent his way were able to get much done on Brown. And Carr had a good day with 292 yards, a touchdown passing, and a touchdown rushing. Dunlap isn't used to guys that can match his length. So there wasn't much he could do with Brown. Brown gave up just 2 pressures in the game. Then in week 13, Brown would see Okafor and the Kansas City Chiefs again. And it really wasn't much different from the first go-round. He gave up 0 pressures in the first game and 1 pressure this one. No matter who the Chiefs sent over there, it was quiet on Brown's side. Too bad Carr wasn't on top of his game that week. But Brown was, even with Jackson playing injured all year, wasn't. And like I said before, this would be Brown's last game because of an injury. When Brown got hurt in the first Chiefs game, Brandon Parker went in and couldn't handle it. So what happened when he played in Brown's place again? The same thing. Parker is going to have to improve majorly to make the team this year. The Raiders were 6-6, still with a chance to go to the playoffs when Brown got hurt. And due in large part to the fact that they couldn't find a good replacement for him, the Raiders lost 3 of their last 4 and missed the playoffs. Brown is a huge man in the tradition of the Raider right tackles that came before him. I don't care who you are. It's intimidating to see a man that size running right at you. And he became a Raider bully right away in the running game. And as reliable as they come in pass protection until he got hurt. Now he's back stronger, so what will we see in 2020? Thank you for watching. See you next time.